How surprised were you by what the Pope said? For those who don't know, he said, part of what he said was, a person who thinks only about building walls wherever they may be and not of building bridges is not Christian. This is not the gospel.
Well, I didn't think it was a good thing for him to say, frankly, and he was talking about the border. And as you know, I'm very strong on border security, and we have to have a border in this country, and we certainly don't have one right now. And as you know, we're talking about building a wall. We're going to build a wall, and Mexico is going to pay for the wall, and that's the way it is. We have a trade balance, and if you look at it, imbalance of about $58 billion with Mexico. And it's really more than that because we also subsidize, et cetera, et cetera. So they're going to pay for the wall. But somehow the government of Mexico spoke with the Pope. I mean, they spent a lot of time with the Pope. And by the time he left, he made a statement. I don't know if
Wait, you think the government of Mexico somehow got the Pope to say this?
Well, I don't think they said that way, but I think they probably talked about, isn't it terrible that Mr. Trump wants to have border security, et cetera, et cetera. And the Pope made the statement, and I think it was probably a little bit nicer statement than it was reported by you folks in the media, because after I read it, it was a little bit softer. But the bottom line is we've got to have a border. We've got to have security. We have tremendous illegal immigration in the country.
Well, I'll just say the Pope did go on to say this is not the gospel. As far as what you have said about whether I would advise to vote or not to vote, I'm not going to get involved in that. I say only that this man is not Christian. If he has said things like that, we must see if he said things in that way, and I will give him the benefit of the doubt.
And he also talked about having a wall is not Christian, and he's got an awfully big wall at the Vatican, I will tell you. So it's going to be an interesting.
But people do come and go through the Vatican. I mean, it's open to tourists.
And they're going to come and go through the wall. I mean, but they're going to come and go legally. They're going to do it legally. And that's what I want, and that's what a lot of people want, obviously, because they agree with me.
You've been in fights with a lot of people, but with the Pope, I mean, does it give you pause?
I don't like fighting with the Pope, actually. I don't think this is a fight. I think he said something much softer than was originally reported by the media. I think that he heard one side of the story, which is probably by the Mexican government. He didn't see the tremendous strain that, the border is causing us with respect to illegal immigration, with the drugs pouring across the border.